Today, Texas Governor Greg Abbott expected to sign major water infrastructure legislation. It's happening in Lubbock. The bills mark the largest investment in Texas water infrastructure to date. The legislation will aim to address the state's growing water needs amid ongoing drought and population growth. Water infrastructure was one of the governor's top priorities for this past 89th legislative session.
Austin's airport opens its upgraded international arrivals area today. The new space adds room for customs, convertible baggage carousels, and better passenger flow. Officials say it'll speed up arrivals during peak travel times. City and federal leaders will be there for the ribbon cutting.
Today, leaders breaking ground on a new affordable housing community. It's in Southeast Austin. This one specifically for those 55 and older who are part of the LGBTQ plus community. Developers of the Home the Community will address the needs for this group who they say face housing discrimination and social isolation. Now, we're not sure what the timeline is on the construction or when this community will be complete and opened up.
It is hump day here in Central Texas. Let's get you fixed up with your drive times. 31 minutes coming in from Buda right now. All the crashes cleared, so we are cooking with gas now. And coming in from Round Rock, under 20 minutes. That'll get you to 183. And really not even looking too bad heading towards DKR Stadium and downtown. And Mopac under 15 right now. KC, what do you have for us?
Well, final check of that 7-day forecast. We are looking at another hot one today, 96 degrees. A little bit of a breeze, though, will help things out. So that should make things feel a little bit more tolerable. We'll continue with just kind of a classic June forecast for the next several days. Next best chance for showers and storms will be Friday afternoon. Watch out for some isolated areas of rain and some thunderstorms as you get to your weekend going, which will be mainly dry Saturday and Sunday.
It does look steamy. Join us on Daybreak Plus right after this.
Continue with us and watch free now on the KVUE Plus app everywhere you stream.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us for Daybreak Plus here on KVUE Plus, streaming free on your TV. I'm Yvonne Nava.
And I'm Hannah Rucker. Good Wednesday morning to you here. Meteorologist Casey Sherman is joining us again, and we kind of saw that live camera downtown a little bit ago. I'm like, are we sitting in a hot tub today? Might as well be.
It looks so steamy.
It is steamy. I mean, we've got humidity up there, dew points in the 70s. That's kind of that tropical feeling air mass, so it's coupled with the heat. So
just thinking about it, my hair is already starting to frizz.
You're just talking about it. It's just so hard to style your hair with this, and it makes such a difference because you have a curl for like 10 minutes and then it's done.
You should see all three of us walk in with big old rollers. We look like we're about to try to get satellite service with our head. Like, you know what I mean? We have all these big rollers. And
ozone over here.
We're trying to make it work in this heat.
It's tough. Yeah, a hat maybe today. A hat to also shield you from the sunshine, which we will have a whole lot of. A little bit later on, I know we're waking up to this kind of cloudier start, but once we start to see things warm on up and get things going, the clouds will start to break apart. In fact, I'm looking across the studio at some of the traffic cameras near the Hannah's area and already starting to see some of those clouds break apart in spots. This is a lookout across the tower cam looking towards downtown. You can see mostly cloudy sky. Temperatures really warm. We haven't cooled things down much overnight. Our average low for this time of year is around 73 degrees. We're a solid 6 degrees above that, and some of us really haven't even managed to cool into the 70s. We still are waking up to some 80s in some spots across the coastal plains. There's that humidity. Dew points up there at 73 degrees. Winds have been a little bit breezy through the overnight time frame. When we see a bit of a breeze pick up, it's also harder to cool things down. So that, in combination with the high humidity, has led to this warm start to the day. Winds gusting still out near the Bastrop area up to about 17 miles per hour. We're heading into what's going to be kind of another breezy day, so that at least should be helping us out with the heat. We're tracking a little bit of shower activity farther north. We'll have to see if this one manages to work its way into areas like Llano County, perhaps here within about the next couple hours. But generally speaking, a lot of this activity has overall fizzled out across the region as it's tried to work its way to the south and east. So we'll be dry today, partly cloudy to start, increasing sunshine towards the afternoon as we climb to 96 degrees for our high temperature. Those winds again could be gusting of up to 25-30 miles per hour, all coming in out of the south. Dry today, increasing rain chances for the end of the work week, especially for Friday. That'll be your next best opportunity to see some showers and storms. I'll break down the full timing of that coming up in a bit.
I don't even mind those little storms. They keep those temperatures down a little bit. Thank you so very much, KC. And of course, we are kicking off our summer season here in Central Texas. It is 7:04 and we're taking a live look. If you are coming in from North Austin today, looking much better. You can even see the steam kind of on the cameras here. Goodness gracious. This is at Wells Branch Parkway though. And you know what? That incident earlier has cleared out. So we've got a pretty good looking map here. And you know what? Just about all that red there traveling southbound is cleared out as well. So really a good sight to see. But you know, we always have a little something here at Onion Creek, but no crashes at least with a stop and go heading into Bluff Springs this morning. Looks like we've got a little bit of debris, and then we've got fallen power cables on Montopolis Drive, so might be a potential outage in this area, not too far from Burleson Road there, and Ben White, of course, and they're going to be hoping to work that up here. And then we do still have a stalled vehicle on the 290 service road, causing minor slowdowns there on top of our usual stop and go that we tend to see in the westbound lanes on 290. Here's a live look at your speeds as you were heading out the door today. Slowdowns in Round Rock, Manor, Westlake Hills, and Buda.
In your KVUE crime files, there are more than 19,000 open cases of unclaimed persons listed in the NamUs national database. These are people who've passed away and either haven't been identified properly or family hasn't been located. But one Williamson County investigator has made it her mission to start putting names to those faces.
I've been in the death industry since 2012. This is Valerie.
Most people spend their lives trying to be remembered. Valerie Alvarez spends hers remembering the forgotten.
I have like a photographic memory. So if I see a name on one website and 2 days later I'm looking through another website, I'll remember that name and connect them. The next question that I have.
Her inquisitive mind and penchant for puzzle solving.
I don't know how my brain works, honestly. It just kind of happens.
Landed her the role of senior death inquest investigator for Williamson County. She's one of the first to hold the title in both the county and state.
This program itself is very new, and it's actually new to everywhere.
Thanks to Olivetis' efforts, after 20 years, a Jane Doe in North Texas is finally getting her real name back.
She was walking down a very dark road in Melissa, Texas back in 2004. At some point, an accident occurred where a car hit her. She passed away on scene.
The woman had no ID on her, no wallet. Investigators ran fingerprints and found nothing. A couple of years later, they re-ran her prints using newer databases.
When those prints came back, lo and behold, it came back to a person.
A person with 27 different aliases from just as many different places across the country. This woman had an extensive criminal history.
I put all the arrests in chronological order, and I made a spreadsheet with the name that she used, where she was arrested, the date she was arrested, social security number, date of birth. And so when I laid it out, I started noticing there was a pattern.
Can you email it to me?
And with the right detective work, Olivetis found her real name, Lisa Jacqueline Millay, and located a relative of hers in Malibu, California. DNA testing on several family members confirmed Millay's true identity. According to them, she was a daughter of a well-known Hollywood composer and jazz singer. The family had finally gotten closure.
Thank you so much.
And Olivetis wants to make sure Williamson County families find that same sense of peace.
It's my passion and what I do. I think everybody should know what happened to somebody. I think it's the dignity in it all. Everybody deserves dignity.
And Olivetis tells me of the thousands of cases that she's taken on, there are very few where she has not found family. Another thing I do want to point out, she's a death investigator, again, one of 4 for Williamson County. So she works hand in hand with justice of the peace judges in order to tackle those dockets, juggle those dockets, and just solve a lot of cases. So one of 4 in the county, and one of the first, again, in the county and in the state. Well, the attorney for death row inmate Robert Robertson has filed an objection to Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton for a new execution date. Robertson was convicted of killing his 2-year-old daughter in 2002. Last October, he received a stay of execution from the Texas Supreme Court after several state lawmakers raised concerns about the scientific evidence that led to his conviction. And today could be a big day for Austin ISD central office employees. With an ongoing budget crisis, staff will find out if they're losing their job or getting reassigned today. KVUE's Malia Masumoto joins us from the newsroom this morning. So Malia, what do we know about this?
Well, Yvonne, AISD employees told us that they got an email on June 5th from the district saying that they would be organizing all of the central office positions, which this announcement was really shocking to a lot of those employees. Tricella Underwood, the vice president of Educate Austin, which is the union for AISD employees and teachers, said they actually recommended cuts to the central office last August. They said an audit found that getting rid of 48 senior positions could save the district $6.6 million. But at the time, district leaders were not initially on board with that idea. So the district had first said they would be taking a phased approach, but with this abrupt switch to reorganize all central office positions, Underwood is left wondering how this will be done.
Because financially it will be a change, or why else do it, right? So individuals affected by this change will not only career-wise have a change, but financially. And so I'm just hoping that the district is very thoughtful and meaningful in the way in which they do it.
We reached out to AISD and they said the reorganization is necessary because there are more than $100 million budget shortfall and also a large drop in student enrollment. Since 2017, they say enrollment has dropped from 80,000 to 72,000 students, but executive positions have actually nearly doubled in that time. AISD also said the decision to reorganize is to help them prepare for potential unexpected costs as they could be facing some school closures. All these changes will take effect on August 1st. Reporting live in the newsroom, Malia Masumoto, KVUE News.
All right, Malia, thank you so much. We now know how 3rd through 8th grade public school students performed on the annual STAR test. The Texas Education Agency, TEA, released the spring test scores today, and they show some mixed results here. So let's talk about reading scores first. They have surpassed pre-pandemic levels, but math scores are still lagging behind. In Austin, reading scores improved across almost all grade levels except for 7th grade, which held steady. Math scores improved slightly among 3rd, 4th, and 6th grades, but dipped slightly for 5th and 7th grades. Only 21% of AISD 7th graders met their grade level in math, which is 10 points lower than the statewide average. And we have a link to a detailed summary of the STAR test results with this story on our website, KVUE.com.
It is 7:11 on this Wednesday morning. Confusion continues around the Trump administration's approach to workplace enforcement. It comes after reports that ICE was told to scale back. ABC's Lionel Moyes has more on the reversal.
This morning, confusion after Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents were told to resume raids on hotels, restaurants, and farms days after President Trump suspended those raids. Trump saying this last week.
We can't do that to our farmers, and leisure too, hotels.
The president acknowledging the agriculture and hospitality industry's reliance on undocumented workers. But now the administration reversing its position once again, telling ICE agents to continue carrying out arrests at farms, hotels, and restaurants. A Homeland Security spokesperson saying these operations target illegal employment networks that undermine American workers. Trump yesterday was asked about the reversal.
We're going to look everywhere, but I think the biggest problem is the inner cities. We're looking everywhere.
Some fellow Republicans now pushing for the return of these worker exemptions.
If you take all of them away, those companies tell me that they're not going to be able to, produce.
Meanwhile, a dramatic confrontation in New York. ICE agents arresting a city official and mayoral candidate who was linking arms with an immigrant agents were trying to arrest.
Where is it?
He was pushed against a wall and arrested, but was released without charges.
ICE said you assaulted an officer.
I mean, you guys all saw it on video, so you know exactly what happened. I certainly did not assault an officer.
Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
And local restaurants here in Austin are also seeing the effects. Michael Cobos is the owner of Vaquero Taquero. He says restaurants are suffering because some workers are scared to come to work because of arrests.
Staff members from colleagues in the industry or other owners that I've talked to, people are afraid, they're locking their doors, they don't really come out much. It's just, I'm an immigrant child from farm worker families, been in the restaurant industry, and these are my family, my friends, my colleagues. And it's just really unfair that they get labeled as criminals when the crime they're committing is working.
The CEO of the Texas restaurant industry says some restaurants in Texas have been unable to open due to a lack of kitchen staff. And it is 7:14 on this Wednesday morning. Tensions overnight in the Middle East. Israel and Iran exchanged another round of attacks. Iranian news media shared this video saying rockets were fired toward Israel. And in Israel, air raid sirens and explosions filled the night sky. Right now, there are no reports of casualties from last night's attack, but certainly a developing story. And the U.S. appears to be closer to getting involved. President Donald Trump demanded Iran surrenders and threatened Iran's Supreme Leader on social media, calling him an easy target. He responded, writing the battle begins. A spokesperson from the State Department says the U.S. is ready.
The Department of State has established the Middle East Task Force to help coordinate support for U.S. citizens, our U.S. diplomatic missions, and personnel and diplomatic engagement.
The Pentagon deployed refueling planes to the region. The U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem is closed through Friday. And local lawmakers are weighing in on whether the U.S. should get involved. KVUE's Quita Culpepper spoke with U.S. Representative Lloyd Doggett about his concerns.
If President Trump, through his weakness and his incompetence, draws us into an extended war in the Middle East, it will have consequences with terrorism in America, with an impact on our economy if the Straits of Hormuz are closed, and our military forces in the Middle East are very vulnerable to Iranian attack.
Doggett says he and several other lawmakers filed a resolution against the U.S. getting involved in any way. We also reached out to Republican Congressman Michael McCall. He wasn't available for an interview, but he released a statement saying in part, quote, "One thing is certain, Iran will not acquire a nuclear weapon and our world is safer for it. They would be wise to come to the table and make an agreement with President Trump," end quote. You can watch the full interview with Congressman Doggett on KVUE Plus. Of course, as you're watching it right now, you can download on your smart TV and watch for free. And tomorrow is Juneteenth. The Travis County Commissioners approved a proclamation recognizing Juneteenth. President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. News of the end of slavery didn't reach the entire country until Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas on June 19, 1865. County leaders say it's important to remember the history.
Juneteenth stands as a powerful symbol of freedom and resilience, commemorating the end of slavery in the United States and honoring the courage, strength, enduring contributions of African Americans to our nature's history, culture, and progress. And that is not being woke, that is actually understanding your history. Travis County acknowledges this day, a milestone in the ongoing pursuit of justice and equality.
The county will hold its annual Juneteenth celebration on Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the atrium of the Travis County Parking Garage. And Miss Opal Lee, known as the grandmother of Juneteenth, will not lead this year's Walk for Freedom in Fort Worth. So she was actually in the hospital last month. Her granddaughter says doctors advised against the 2.5-mile walk. This will actually be the first time Lee won't lead the event she helped create. Organizers say she may join virtually or ride in a vehicle. But of course, you know, she has had such an impact in Texas over this. And over the next several days, there are a lot of Juneteenth celebrations happening in our community, and we have a list of events happening on our website. You can just look for the story on KVUE.com. And an Austin Youth Sports League is asking for the community's help to repair baseball fields damaged by the May microburst. Delwood Sports has called East Austin home for nearly 70 years. On May 28th, 85-mile-per-hour winds damaged seating areas, dugouts, scoreboards, and fencing at Bartholomew Park. Another storm 2 months earlier blew the roof off their concession building, and now league officials, well, they're trying to rebuild before the fall season starts, and hopefully they won't get hit again.
Yeah, we'd love to be able to play games at the beginning of September. So, you know, if this, at least the fence can get fixed and this area can be safe and playable, for us to be able to play baseball at the beginning of September.
If you would like to help, we have posted a link with this story at KVUE.com.
7:19 is your time. San Marcos is scaling back its use of license plate reader cameras, and the city will shut off 5 of its 19 flock safety cameras and end automatic data sharing with other agencies. Police say new safeguards will keep the system focused on solving crimes, but some still worry about misuse.
It's a good first step, but in the end, the only real solution will be banning the use of these cameras by the city.
Well, the city will have random audits every 30 days to make sure they are compliant with state law and departmental policies. Residents can learn more about the cameras through a transparency portal online, and we have a link with the story on our website, KVUE.com.
And groups in Buda are helping people turn an idea into a successful business. Today, the city's Economic Development Corporation and Buda Hive are hosting an entrepreneur camp. Hive stands for Home for Innovators, Visionaries, and Entrepreneurs. Love it. The event is meant to give business owners a leg up in growing their business. The city's Assistant Director of Small Business Initiatives says the all-day event is open to business owners in all phases.
It might be someone who's just in the ideation part of their journey. It might be someone who is actually running a business out of their, kitchen. It might be someone who is full-fledged, has a brick and mortar space. If they are looking to start up, scale up, it's just a great opportunity for like-minded individuals to come together.
You can go to BeutaHive.com to register for the event. There's less than 10 spots left, so it's going quick. Tickets cost $20, and breakfast and lunch will be provided by Buda-based vendors. So that's half the reason to be there. No, I'm kidding. For us,
it's a good deal.
Entrepreneur camp, that sounds so cool.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I went to mime camp. I mean, it was okay.
French mime?
Yeah, you know, like the face painted. It was torture because I couldn't speak.
Wait, how many days?
No, it was only like 1 or 2 days, but it was part of a church camp. Not really, but it was just like, you know, a lot of this and a lot of this. You know,
acting it out.
I don't know.
Do you have to, don't they paint their
They
faces
painted the
or-
face, yeah.
I went to a camp do it all, so each day they'd send us to a different place.
Right.
Oh, I kind of like that.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was cool. We got to take a look around.
Anything you got to do?
I mean, I had to do like band camp.
Oh,
Like,
wait, what did you play?
The flute.
Very nice.
Which is always like the work, but it would be so hot, and you're just like standing out on that field and you know marking your show, and it was brutal.
Everyone's playing, and you're just staring at the you know, staring up at me like, I'm going to be a meteorologist one day.
Yeah, right. So I can tell you about how hot it's going to be. You know what? Thanks so much once again for joining us on KVUE Plus. We are going to do a quick cut in, and then we'll be right back here in just a couple minutes. Good Wednesday morning, Central Texas. We are halfway through the work week, okay? It is 7:23, and we're taking a live, kind of a steamy look out at I-35. Got some good movement there at Wells Branch Parkway. We had an incident there a little bit earlier. That is cleared up, so looking much better if you are coming in from Round Rock today. Still seeing our normal delays coming in from Onion Creek. We had a crash there much earlier this morning, so this is just kind of our typical backup. I will note right now, there's actually a developing situation on Metopolis Drive. Someone apparently with their vehicle hit some power cables out there that are now kind of slipping onto the ground. And, you know, they're out there trying to work that scene, get the cables back up and clear out the crash. Doesn't seem to be impacting travel on Ben White as of right now, but just heads up for you. Heading out the door. It's already been a busy and a hot start for us, Casey.
Has, yeah, you know, warm, muggy. A lot of us really didn't even cool down much. We had some areas waking up at 80 degrees this morning. We're still close to that here in the Austin area. Austin Airport and Camp Mabry both waking up to 79 degrees. We've got that humidity high, and we're heading into another dry day today. We've got a couple showers that are trying to budge their way into areas like Mason, Llano County. Not much there, but elsewhere we're just looking at what's going to be a mostly sunny sky. The clouds we currently have clearing out by this afternoon. High temperatures reaching back to near 96 degrees today, where we will see some gusts of up to around 25 to 30 miles per hour. So that breeze at least helping things feel a little bit more tolerable. Nevertheless, the heat index still could be climbing up to around 104 degrees for some spots. Beginning tomorrow, we'll start to add in the chance for a stray shower or storm by the afternoon. Chances will increase a little bit more for your Friday as we kick off the start of summer. The weekend ahead will be mainly dry and seasonable. Those temperatures actually very close to average. Classic kind of June weather pattern. We hold in the middle 90s with a chance for a stray shower and storm heading into next week.
Welcome back on this Wednesday morning. How we doing, Brian?
Fantastic, Hannah. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm good. Anything new in your world on
Nothing.
this Wednesday?
I just scarfed down a salad. I'm feeling a little energy.
A salad, that's it?
I got 30 more minutes in me.
Okay, cool. Got a fresh salad for breakfast. Love to see it.
Yeah.
And you know what? It is 7:27 now. And yeah.
You ready to get this thing rolling?
Let's do it.
Hannah, have you ever noticed that when it's hot outside, you don't feel as hungry? You ever noticed that?
Is that a thing?
I've never noticed, but now I'll be paying attention today.
Okay, well, there's a reason for that, apparently.
We're not as hungry because our body doesn't want to get overheated. So we end up eating less, or we eat less calories, so we don't produce as much of that internal heat.
Interesting. That's Beth Serwokny. She's a registered dietitian with the Cleveland Clinic. She says the opposite happens now in the wintertime when we're cold and our bodies are craving food to try to stay. Hey, that's what I had for breakfast. Try to stay warm. It's not the only reason now our appetite changes with the season. In the summer, people are usually more active, so they might not be as hungry or have time to think about the hunger that they're feeling. They may also be more body conscious and opt to eat foods with less calories, you know, like fruits and vegetables, so you can fit into the Speedos. Another factor could be dehydration. When you're dehydrated, your gut starts to slow down and you don't digest food as well. That can make you actually feel nauseous, she says.
The other thing to remember is a lot of times when we're dehydrated, our sense of thirst is stunted anyway. So if all of a sudden you're really, really thirsty, you're probably very dehydrated. So drinking throughout the day is going to be important.
About that. Now, if you notice any extreme appetite changes or have any other concerns, you should consult with a medical professional because it might be something else going on there. But dehydration is bad all the way around.
It is, especially on this shift. You gotta just keep drinking that water. And I kind of get it though. It's like you're too hot to care about anything else, so you're just kind of focused on how hot it is.
Yeah, you know, now that you think of it, yeah, you're right. You don't get if you're burning up outside, you're not usually hungry.
Yeah.
You're maybe thirsty, but you're not usually hungry. So
I think it's hard though because in Texas we have so many good things to eat. And of course, Casey, I know you are new to the area and you've been having so much fun, you know, forecasting these triple-digit feels like humidity situations.
Yeah, it doesn't stop me from though trying some restaurants, man. You got a lot of good things around here, and yeah, we've got another hot and humid one today. I know a lot of people maybe prefer something like a salad or maybe some fruit as you are dealing with the heat. A juicy watermelon to kind of help cool you down. All good ideas for maybe breakfast or lunch today. Currently, look outside. We're looking steamy. We got that high humidity, and temperatures didn't cool down much at all overnight. We're still holding just shy of 80 degrees out of the airport. And also Camp Mabry, dew points in the lower 70s. We're feeling sticky with that high humidity still with us and that breeze coming in out of the south. A look at our radar. We are currently dry. We've got a couple showers that are beginning to try and approach some of our North Hill Country counties. So Mason County, Llano County, a couple little showers just to the north of you. We'll see if they manage to get there. But overall, a lot of these have been kind of falling apart as they've tried to work their way farther to the south, coming in from these kind of spotty showers and storms that have been generally in and around the Dallas area, North Texas. Again, a couple of them have been trying to work their way into our hill country zones, but the good majority of us, if not all of us, will stay completely dry today. The clouds we currently have this morning, those continue to lift out quickly as things warm on up. That's going to leave us with plenty of sunshine again today. We'll be looking at what should be a mostly sunny sky, 96 for a high temperature and a little bit breezy at times. I am tracking the return of some rain for tomorrow and also for your Friday. I'll show you which day will feature the higher chance for showers and storms coming up.
Thank you so very much, Casey. Good Wednesday morning. Thanks so much for hanging with us here on KVUE Plus. I hope everything's going good with y'all today. We are taking a live look out across the area at 71 and Riverside. We had a couple crashes and a lot of them have cleared out pretty quickly. So love to see that today. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions if you are heading out the door. We do have a new incident that is impacting 130 toll road travel southbound at Howard Lane, not too far from the Austin Executive Airport there. And aside from that, looking much better if you are coming in from North Austin and Round Rock today. We had a crash a little bit earlier and that is cleared out, so looking good. And still seeing stop and go in the northbound lanes approaching William Cannon. No active crashes to report at this time on I-35 coming in. But once again, in case you missed it, there's an ongoing developing situation involving a vehicle that hit a power pole, and you know they're out there trying to clear up that crash as well as try to restore power to that area on Mentopolis Drive. And it is 7:32 on this Wednesday morning. Daybreak Adventures takes you on a journey to check out things to do in Central Texas. And it's not every day you get a chance to stand on stage under the bright lights and perform.
Not every day, but it's fun when you do. Now, if that's something that you think sounds like fun, we have got the place for you. The Fallout Theater at 6th and Lavaca, part of a growing comedy scene here in Austin. And as we found out, they have classes that can help you realize your dream of performing on stage.
That was fun. That was fun. I like that.
We love having all the energy and attention that's on the comedy scene in Austin.
The Fallout Theater in downtown Austin is a marketplace for comedy, from the lounge to the stage.
We have not just stand-up, we have improv, sketch comedy, clown, which is a thing that's happening in the comedy world now.
We do act like clowns on occasion, but on this day, Kyle let us try our hands at improv.
And you will live, but it won't be a great life.
Oh, okay. Just put me out of my misery.
Well,
they have several classes for all levels here. Greg Phelps is an improv teacher.
Your only job is to mimic whatever strange thing I'm doing.
He walked us through a few improv exercises.
So you want that large coffee.
large coffee.
And you want it nice and hot.
Nice and hot.
Like you like your women.
We have multiple levels, so you start with a one-on-one, and then if you like it, which I guarantee you will, then you can then move on and see, you want to learn more, you want to develop those skills a little bit further.
Oh, time to do my laundry.
Who has some detergent?
We have a lot of people start in improv and then go, I love this. They finish the improv program. They want to then translate that into sketch.
Well, you got to say yes.
The main thing we learned is that improv,
you're a natural,
is a team game.
Do you know about my big news?
Oh, no, I just mean, because we're the news.
Kind of like anchoring Daybreak.
That's really the main thing about it, is that feeling of being on stage with a group of people, building something together, and making friends.
My chili poisoned 7 people.
And scene. Indeed.
And boom. That's how we'll end it. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
You got to take a bow, right? Fallout Theater offers classes, actually, for individuals or for groups, everything from improv to clowning, if that's your thing. Now, that's in addition to the comedy shows you can find at this theater all the time. We'll have more information when we post this story here in a little bit on KVUE.com. It was really fun to be out there, but you also see, Hannah, how hard that is.
Yeah.
They make it look so easy, but it's not easy at all.
But I think that's a good exercise for really anybody. You have to flex that muscle and kind of almost take a risk. It's like you don't know how the sentences are going to end, and it's kind of part of the fun and kind of scary. And then, I was trying to figure out if you guys were like gorillas picking up bananas or if you were doing the laundry at one point. It was kind of like, what's going on? But
yeah,
it's fun.
You got to really pay attention to every clue, not just visually, but what they're saying while they're doing it, because they were talking about that. And the good improv performers are the ones that set the others up. It's not the ones that always deliver the punchline. It's the ones that kind of set them up for the punchline.
You got to take that ball and work it.
That's right. I bet you'd be good at it, though. You got to go with us next time. You'd probably be the best of all of us. It's never a bad time to thank someone for just being your friend.
Oh, a woman in New Jersey just reached her goal of writing 10,000 thank you notes, which is kind of a dying art in itself.
You're right.
Which is so sad, and I love this, though. ABC's Danny New has a story.
In Hoboken, New Jersey, this is a walk Ellen Webster has made quite often in the past decade, as she worked to achieve her goal of sending 10,000 handwritten thank you notes, if you do the math.
So you've been writing 3 a day, every day, for more than 10 years?
More or less.
She was initially inspired by a John Kralik book called A Simple Act of Gratitude. And of course, Ellen had to get really creative to think up 10,000 people.
And I started having so much fun kind of observing where my attention was drawn and to what people and to what activities could I write and thank somebody for.
Ellen wrote to doctors, nurses, coffee shop baristas, post office employees, her favorite authors, as well as bookstore and theater owners all around the country.
Some people even comment on the stamps.
At one point, she even hand-delivered a thank you note to an employee at the grocery store who offered to carry her groceries to her car.
What did he say when he got the thank you note?
He hugged me. I just made 700 of them.
Also, she stuffs each letter with an origami heart.
Lots of precision.
For the record, Ellen says many people do not reply, but she has held on to her favorite responses, like from her high school English teacher, Mr. Tracy.
Take care. Lionel. He never called himself Lionel.
But for thank you note number 10,000, which she just completed a few weeks ago, Ellen wrote to the man who first inspired her, author John Kralik. And he said, while at first he was a little surprised by how many she had written,
He said he hoped that it had brought blessings to my life, which I don't think of it that way, but they certainly have.
Ellen also recently wrote a letter to the CEO of Southwest Airlines to tell him about an extremely kind employee she met at the LaGuardia baggage carousel here in New York. Specifically, she asked the CEO to take him to lunch. So I hope CEO sees the story. Please take this very kind employee to lunch. Ellen says you must. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
I love her.
Yeah.
How did she do it so quick with the grocery worker? She just wrote it out. She's firing them off.
It's a dying art.
I know.
It is.
To write a good thank you note, because it
Everyone loves
is.
a handwritten note.
You feel special when you get one, right?
You do.
You know what's a scary thought though is that people I feel like aren't even actually writing on paper at
No.
all. Like
You think about the
Yeah.
kids in
Anymore.
school now, I'm like it's just all tablets and with the nails.
freaky. It scares me.
Yeah, you send a text for Father's Day. What do? You call your dad usually or your mom on a Mother's Day, but sometimes you shoot them a text and say, I'll call you later, or Happy Father's Day, or Happy Birthday, or whatever. It's not like writing a note.
It's not. Should we start writing more thank you notes?
Yeah, start writing, the forecasts on paper. And
Yes,
Here you go, guys.
and show it to the class.
There's the camera.
Maybe
Here
it
you go,
doesn't work
guys.
for everything. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Cute little school project. You are kind of giving that
Exactly.
presentation.
Writing cursive.
That's
That would
funny.
take forever.
I know, that's another thing they're not doing anymore.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
Okay, in case you were wondering, Lay's has a new chip flavor if you're hungry, bacon grilled cheese. Whoa, let me take a moment there. Okay, bacon grilled cheese. Chips were the winning idea for Lay's Do Us a Favor contest. The idea was submitted by Paula George from Oklahoma. She was inspired by her late father's favorite sandwich. Her winning flavor beat out more than 700,000 entries and is now hitting store shelves nationwide. As the grand prize winner, George takes home $1 million. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And a place, of course, in Lay's flavorful history. Okay, I love a grilled cheese. I love some
Yeah.
bacon in there. That could be
sounds good.
interesting.
It's a unique combination you wouldn't always put together, but I can see how the flavors in a potato chip
Yeah.
would be pretty tasty.
I just think it's amazing. There's kind of like a science to it. The fact they can even put all those flavors in there, man.
I
It's
know,
kinda-
it is. They've got they've got so many nowadays. It's like they've got the pickle ones, they've got the ketchup flavored ones, they've got all
Yes.
of those like international Lay's flavors that are even
Yep.
like weirder when you go to a different country. So
Oh yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
Have you still been enjoying shopping at HEB and getting the full Texas
have.
experience?
Oh yeah.
Any new
Love-
additions in your world?
I keep going back to the homemade tortilla station.
And you just
Yeah.
stay there for
the butter
comfort?
tortillas, yeah.
Just get a couple
Every
nice
time I
and
go, just
warm.
load a couple of those in.
There you go. You're doing it right.
I like the jalapeno ones at the HEB brand. They have the jalapeno kettle chips.
Oh,
Have
yeah,
y'all ever
those are
tried
good.
those?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
Kettle chips are the way to go, like the
You're right.
crispy.
And then I like sour cream and onion dip. I don't know
Yes.
about you guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do a little dip.
Little
Do the
chips and
jalapeno
dip.
plus the sour cream and onion dip, and then it's like a little spicy and a little bit creamy.
Nice.
We're all very hungry.
That sounds really good.
It always,
I was about to
Not the
say.
spicy and the creamy.
So we haven't eaten breakfast yet.
Okay.
All right, crispy. Does that describe the weather today?
Yeah, I would say so. Crispy and
Yeah.
maybe a little soggy when it comes to the humidity. We've got a definitely higher sweat factor today. Those dew points up there in the 70s. Heat will be up there in the middle 90s. And we're waking up to kind of just a swampy feeling start. A lot of us across the coastal plains especially, you didn't even break into the 70s overnight. So that just goes to show you how humid we've been. 80 still out towards Bastrop and Giddings and LaGrange right now. We've got upper 70s across the I-35 corridor with low to middle 70s across the hill country. You're kind of the cooler spots on the map at the moment. As we take a look outside on our radar, we are currently dry. We are trying to track a couple of these showers that are just now beginning to budge their way in to areas like Mason County. This has been kind of generally working its way in from North Texas through this morning, and a lot of it has since fallen apart. They continue to kind of do so, but we may see a couple of those clip some of our very far north hill country zones. After that, though, we'll be dry today. Today is going to be a dry day of weather. Stray storm possible as we head into your Thursday. Friday, I think now is going to be featuring our next best chance and opportunity to see some needed showers and storms across the area. So if you were tuned in yesterday the thinking was Thursday would feature the better chance. Right now, I think it's going to be a little bit more delayed until Friday, and then the weekend ahead, just featuring about a 10% chance for a stray shower storm each day. As we take you into the remainder of your Wednesday, middle of the work week, the clouds that we see this morning will continue to kind of scour on out. Those winds will be out of the south, which will continue to be a little bit gusty still at times for today. We'll continue to keep things dry as we head into this afternoon. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. We kick off the day for your Thursday, those low clouds filling right back into the area. But by tomorrow afternoon, we'll have a little bit more moisture to work with. So I think we'll be looking at a chance for that stray pop-up shower or storm after about 2-3 o'clock tomorrow. Could see some quick downpours, maybe a little bit of lightning. A lot of us, though, won't see any rain for tomorrow. We kind of rinse and repeat. Friday, again, another dry, cloudier start to the day. And then notice the coverage increases even more by Friday afternoon. The timing here is going to be between the hours of 3 o'clock through, I would think, 6 o'clock. So early in the evening hours, late Friday afternoon, some quick downpours for some of our lucky zones, lightning and some thunder. And then we start to lose those as we lose the peak daytime heating by Friday evening and Friday night. Rainfall totals over the next week, classic kind of June setup here where we're heading into this more kind of drier, hotter weather pattern. Won't see much, up to about a couple tenths of an inch here and there to a quarter of an inch, but not going to see a whole lot of rain here over the next week. Highs today, back to 96 degrees we go, lower 90s out across the coastal plains, middle 90s out across the hill country today. Our heat index ranging anywhere from 97 to what could be as hot as 104, 105 degrees across the Austin metro area with that urban heat island effect. Overnight tonight, temperatures back into middle 70s as we kick off your Thursday, which will be another warm one. But keep in mind, our average temperature for this time of year is now around 94 degrees. So we'll be right about there tomorrow or so, about a degree warmer for your Thursday with that chance for a stray shower or storm during the afternoon. The summer solstice, that is Friday. We're welcoming in the start of summer. Friday is also the longest day out of the year at 14 hours and 7 minutes of daylight. After that, our daylight hours start to get shorter. Our days start to get shorter as we approach the autumnal equinox. 7-day forecast, Saturday and Sunday, mainly dry for your weekend plans. Highs near average around 95 degrees. We'll keep with the drier weather even as we head into next week.
A lot more daylight coming our way. Do you have blackout curtains?
I do.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to have them. This time of year, because it's like, you guys know, we got to go to bed real early to get up early, and you know, that light just kind of pierces through. But here you go, guys. Things were looking so much better on I-35, and then that quickly changed. We've got a stalled vehicle here, southbound at Owen Tech. Not an ideal location, right in the middle of the highway in that main lane there. So definitely feeling those delays. Looks like they are trying to work that out right now. We got a first responder behind the truck right now as they're trying to get that vehicle cleared out of the way. But now contributing to a new slowdown southbound. Once again, heading southbound at Howard Lane if you are coming in from North Austin today. We also have a new crash at Cameron Road at Anderson Lane that's being worked there. Some minor delays in that area. And then we also have a new incident out in the Leander area on County Road 179 at Bull Nettle Drive, causing some slowdowns there. Taking a look, coming in from South Austin, also still feeling some of those delays this morning in the northbound lanes. And then once again, they're about to clear out that incident where a vehicle apparently crashed into a power pole a little bit earlier. So that created for an interesting moment there as they are trying to restore that power on top of also clearing out that crash.
Something to keep an eye on for sure. All right, you know this, there's a little magic floating around the Dallas Zoo these days. A burst of color, flutter of wings, and a chance to slow down and soak it all in.
Oh, the new I Spy Butterflies exhibit is more than just beautiful. It allows guests to step into a living garden where nature takes center stage. We know this young lady. Natalie Haddad takes us inside.
There is a kaleidoscope of color fluttering at the Dallas Zoo.
These are the blue morphos. We'll see a light emerging at the same time.
Tucked into this newly transformed green space, this walk-through garden is alive with nature's most delicate dancers, butterflies. The I Spy Butterflies exhibit is now open, and it is nothing short of enchanting.
We just really wanted to provide a space where people could just be immersed with butterflies and be in that environment where they're flying around you. They may or may not land on you.
Watching each species is a living work of art and purpose. Beyond the flutter and flare is a message that the zoo hopes takes flight. Butterfly populations are vanishing at a worrying rate.
The populations are declining worldwide.
A national study found that 22% of U.S. butterfly species have disappeared, with numbers steadily dipping by 1.3% every year. Part of this is because of the insect killers we use every day.
Instead of your chemical pesticides, use essential oils or get some ladybugs or praying mantises.
So why does it matter? Well, butterflies aren't just beautiful. They're vital pollinators, helping plants grow, thrive, and feed our ecosystem.
We put a few pieces in there.
They're also nature's early warning system, signaling the health of the environments we all depend on.
This was actually very needed.
Through conservation education and immersive beauty, this green space is a gentle reminder that even the smallest wings
Conservation isn't just for scientists, it's for you and me.
can make the biggest difference in keeping our planet thriving. In Dallas, I'm Natalie Haddad.
Oh, Natalie used to work at KVUE, so love to see her, hear her familiar voice there. And it's so true, and especially here in Texas, we've got a lot of monarchs that come through, try to make their way to Mexico, and we got to get some milk thistle and get some plants out there and make sure that they can have a nice stay while they're here.
Yeah, and those exhibits are so cool. But I will say I have a story where I was like traumatized when I was a kid. My mom took me and my sister to one of those, and one of the big owl, I think it's like an owl moth.
Did it land right on your face?
It landed right on my nose, and you know it's got like the big looking eyes and wings, and I freaked out. And like from a couple years after that, I was like, I'm not going to one of those. And now I love them.
Now you love them.
As a kid, it was a little traumatic.
Oh, did she get a cute picture though when it landed?
I don't know. I was screaming and crying. So
That would be
it wouldn't be a
scary.
cute picture.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that to happen.
Well, how about this, guys? An unusual guest checked into a Virginia motel and it had scales. So all the creatures this morning. Police were called to a motel about 15 miles south of Washington, D.C. for reports of an alligator outside of one of the rooms. The gator was about 6 feet long. Officers say the gator escaped from its owner. Okay.
It had an owner.
Right, I've got a lot of questions. This is getting kind of sketchy. Okay, who was taking it from New York to a North Carolina zoo, apparently. Animal Protection Police safely recaptured the reptile. Both it and its owners were escorted out of the county.
I bet they
since
were.
keeping gators, well, it's illegal in Virginia, in case you were wondering.
So many questions. So wait, so the dude owned an alligator.
Right.
Was taking it on a road trip, stayed at a hotel, and let the gator out.
I guess
Right.
so.
Is that what I'm
Well,
gonna?
that gator had had enough of the travel, I guess.
Or was he like, hey, yeah, you can stay in my hotel room for
That's
the night,
wild.
Gators. You know, get out of the truck and
I know, right?
stretch your legs a little bit.
They're
I don't
like
know.
dinosaurs, man.
And
I'm
they
just
are.
amazed that anyone thinks that they can try to, keep them as a pet. It's great.
Gator's one of those animals too, kind of like a bear. If you ever see it in the wild, it's totally different than you think it's going to be. You think, oh, I've seen it now. But if you see one in the wild with no cage around it, and you're like, I was fishing one time and this gator swims by, I'm thinking that thing could kill me. It could eat me right now.
And what's
You
creepy
know?
about the water too, the way that their snout is shaped, it's like they
Yeah.
float with their little eyes, and then their legs too, they get up really tall, and it's kind of
Oh
freaky.
yeah, I don't like
I know
seeing
that's the
them.
thing. Their legs, it's like they don't look like they be the toe, but as soon as they like extend them, they start running, and it's like, oh, whoa.
You're a New Orleans girl. You grew up with gators.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we went swimming with the gators all. We would feed them marshmallows. They like marshmallows.
Is that
for some
right?
reason. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the big thing was you go over the bridge with a bag of the Jet Puff marshmallows and just throw them in, and they would chomp them right up. They loved it. They would all kind of
That's
emerge out
funny.
of the water.
That's funny.
I just want you to sit and tell us stories about New Orleans for hours. I love hearing about it.
So wait, the moth scared you, but you're not scared to feed a marshmallow to an alligator.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. Interesting.
She goes, it was that one time.
I guess it's what you're used to, right?
Yeah,
It's what you're used to.
Okay, talk about a commencement speech to remember. Actor Steve Carell delivered the commencement address at Northwestern University in Chicago on Sunday.
It was more than just the speech, though. His message to the class of 2025 was about the art of listening and how kindness shouldn't be seen as a weakness.
Everyone should be, at very least, pretty nice. Here are a few tips to being pretty nice and/or kind. Nothing off the charts, Nobel Prizes, no sainthoods, but good, solid human behavior. Donate your time or money to a worthy cause. That's an excellent starting point. People helping people, no brainer. Return your shopping cart in the parking lot. Someone's got to do it. Why not you?
Such good advice. The speech even included a dance break at one point, led by the great Steve Carell himself. What a fantastic message that is.
And it is time now to follow me in the mid-commencement address dance break. There we go. Come on.
Four-letter word just to get me along. It's a difficulty and I'm biting on my tongue. And I keep stalling and keeping it together. People around gotta find something to say now. Holding back every day the same. Don't wanna be alone. Listen to me, oh no. I never say anything at all. But with nothing to consider, they forget my name. They call me help.
Oh my
They'll never forget it. Never forget it. Carell even got the dean of the School of Communication to bust a move there during that dance break. You saw that. He received an honorary degree from the university. Of course, the great Steve Carell, Michael Scott, as I will always know him,
Right.
is a pretty good dude. That's cool.
Look at this guy. Yeah, and the head of communication, he had some moves on him. That was cool.
That was impressive. Almost like they choreographed it, it looked like, right?
But I feel like I see him and I'm just like, it's Michael Scott.
Yeah.
That's Steve Carell. That's Michael
I know.
Scott.
Yeah. Me too.
Give me the commencement speech.
Me too. Who spoke at you guys' graduation? Do you remember?
Who was it?
I don't remember.
I don't either. Is that sad?
I don't think it was anyone impressive.
Nobody stood out? Dan Rather spoke at mine.
That's huge.
That's right. That's why I'm sitting here today. No.
Yeah.
I'm like,
We're not inspired.
We
That's
can't
right.
compare with that. Well, gosh. All right. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on KVUE Plus at 7:53. We're going to do a quick live cut-in on cable, and I think we're done for today on the Plus.
Is that it? It's been great, guys.
So thanks
talked
so much.
Gators. We talked moths.
Yeah.
We talked The Office.
Talked
All
about
sorts of things.
salads and heat and well, all the things. Okay.
Have a great afternoon, everybody.